Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here today for Mayor Burcroft's 5th Annual State of the City Address. My name is Dennis Davidson, and I'm the Cable and Media Relations Liaison for the City of Romulus. As a reminder, all proceeds from this event will go to benefit our Summer Sounds in Downtown and Movies in the Park series, and we hope you'll join us on Fridays for our Downtown this summer. Now, if you would please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Romulus Police Department Honor Guard. That'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by members of Girl Scout Troop 71551 and Cub Scout Pack 782.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now I'd like to recognize our elected officials in attendance this afternoon. From the City of Romulus, City Clerk Ellen Craig Bragg. City Treasurer Stacy Page. Mayor Pro Tem John Barden. Councilman William Wadsworth. Councilwoman Celeste Roscoe. Councilwoman Tina Talley. Councilwoman Virginia Williams. Councilwoman Eva Webb. Councilwoman Kathy Abdo. Also with us this afternoon, Superintendent of Romulus Schools, Margie McAnally. Wayne County Commissioner Al Haydas. Wayne County Commissioner Ray Basham. Thirty-fourth District Court Judge Brian Oakley. Representing Senator Debbie Stabenow's office, Amanda York. I should mention also in attendance today is former longtime Councilman Linda Choate. Thank you for coming, Linda. Mayor of Inkster, Byron Nolan. Mayor of Westland, William Wild. Deputy Mayor of Westland, Michael Reddy. Mayor Pro Tem of Taylor, Alex Garza. Mayor of Wayne, Susan Rowe. Huron Charter Township Supervisor, David Glabe. With us also representing the 12th District, our representative in Lansing, State Representative Erica Geis. And Wayne County Circuit Court Judge Paul Husek. And now at this time, I'd like for you to turn your attention to our screen.
I'm excited today. We got to stay in the city. I got to get there, but first I got to do my tour around the city and check on a few of these big developments. Ready to go? Oh my gosh, look at this Amazon development. I can't believe it. Just since last week they've got more walls up, even with the snow. This is really impressive. Since I've been in this city, this development has gone faster and more furious than any other that I can remember. I'm really excited about those 1,600 jobs. Only downside this Amazon, I'm really worried about Geraldine's Amazon Prime account getting a little out of control. Mopar's looking good. They're open, going, employees are here. Outside looks beautiful. When we stopped here and did the grand opening, I couldn't believe that they have representatives from UAW, state, Wayne County, Aerotropolis. What a collaborative effort. Wow, what an impressive building. Man, I kicked myself for not bringing my new Jeep, so now when I buy my new aftermarket Mopar parts, I can pick them up at the warehouse. Hey, how you doing today? My name's Leroy Burcroft, Mayor of City of Romulus. How's it going? So now here we are driving into the Penske development off of Warman Road. I know the ground's still frozen out here, but they've got all the underground work done, and really looking forward to this one coming into our community. Refrigerated, cross-dock facility, more new jobs. I can't believe it. Midday run checking out these development. Very nice. We've got 3 big marquee companies all in different phases of development. I can't wait to get back and tell the rest of the community about this at State of the City. And coming up on the rack, I'm sure excited for State of the City. I sure hope Amazon, I got my tie here on time.
That's funny.
All right. Looks like Amazon came through. All right. Just in time.
And now to share with us our accomplishments of the past and what to look forward in the future, our Mayor, Leroy D. Burcroft.
Wow, please have a seat. Thanks, everybody. Where is Reverend Willis? Is he here? Reverend Willis, could I have you please come up and start with our invocation? Everything's better with prayer, right?
Amen.
Thank you.
Let us pray. Eternal God, we are grateful and we are thankful for your many blessings that you store upon us. Lord, you bless us even when we don't even know it or don't even need it. You are so grateful. Thank you, Lord, what you've done in this city. Lord, you just keep on doing special things. You do special things through special people. We are so grateful. Lord, there's so many people that's behind the scene that work so hard to make this possible. We know that our mayor stands out. He's the one that drives it. He's the team leader. But there's so many under-shepherds that work so diligent, so hard. Lord, let them keep on working. Keep on pushing and keep on pushing forward. The more we push our mayor, the better this city is going to become. Last year, we talked about a team, and this year, Lord, we have some new members of the team. We, Heavenly Father, we pray that those new members of the team will jump in and put their part in and do their best to keep the ball rolling. Thank you for this fellowship. Thank you for this community. Thank you for these businesses. Thank you for all that you do. From the citizens to the residents to those that come in and work for us, we are so grateful. Keep on keeping on. And we give you all the praise for it. Bless this mayor, bless his health, bless his family, and we give you praise for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Wow, 4 years, here we are again. So looking forward to this 2018 State of the City, and so let's jump into it. This is a quote, Steve Jobs: "Great things in business are never done by one person. They're always done by a team," as Reverend Willis just said. There's a ton of people behind the scenes. We're going to talk more about Team Romulus. That's what it's about, right, Council? That's what it's about, staff, right? So I'm excited about that. Successful business person. I'll come back and relate a little bit about that in a second. There's our new logo. Kind of first, chapter 1 is a quick look back. You know, I don't want people to say Burcroft's just blowing his horn and what the team's been doing and Romulus, but it's amazing when we look back what we changed. We started really changing a culture. So everybody remember coming in, we went in the EOS system with Gino Wickman, and we read traction, we did training sessions, we took it to departments, and so what that was doing was building a structure. It's basically a business. Entrepreneurial Operating System is what EOS stands for. Oh, we're not a business, are we? Well, we're providing a service, right? So we're not making widgets and selling them and servicing them, but what we're doing is we're providing value with that tax dollar. So we dove into that, and this came up because we were just doing some employee reviews with our strategy team, and one of the first questions I ask when we do employee reviews is, when you were to go home and talk to a family member or friend, and you're asked, what major significant accomplishments have you done this last year? What comes to mind? You better be ready to rattle off some things, right? Didn't we say that, Suzanne? Ask you that, ask others. So if I ask myself that, I would say, looking back, coming in, putting a structure in, a business management structure, so that we can get good work done is huge. So I didn't want to not talk about that. I'm not here to plug his book. I'm here to plug the basic fundamentals that Gino took from a lot of successful business people and professionals to get work, to get traction, to get things done. So real quick, what we did that was significant, again, looking back, you know, we came up with a value statement. So in business, you have a value proposition. Doesn't matter if you're an attorney, doesn't matter if you're in a service business, doesn't matter if you're Michigan Pneumatic Tool, if you're Aztec, you're trying to get something done. Your value proposition is what you do that your competition either can't or can't easily emulate. Right? That's your advantage. That's your niche in the marketplace. So we're not making widgets, but we're offering a service. So we came up with this value statement. We didn't ask everybody to memorize it. I didn't say, Mary, you got to know it word by word. Or somebody in DPW, you got to memorize this. What we wanted to have them do is tell their story. What does that mean? So that means that what they're living, what they're doing is basically offering a value for that tax dollar, offering solutions. Innovative ideas should come up. Core values. Core values are in clubs, churches, families. Those are the must-have. We actually just recently, we did our planning session for this upcoming year. You see this one is bolded out. That was really important. We decided that that was significant enough to add to our core values. But pretty basic things. Open and honest. good or bad. We got to be open and honest with one another. A can-do attitude, a solution-oriented. That very bottom one is huge. Healthy balance or family life, right? In fact, real quick, remember the earlier quote from Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs, very successful business person. I just read an article on him, and he had cancer, right? Passed away. At the end of his life, he was telling the story, and here he is in a hospital gown, withering away, and they asked him to reflect on his life. You know what he talked about? He missed his family and some of those opportunities. So all those accolades in business, that's great. All those accolades in government, that's great. But what does it boil down to? Our families, the ones we love. Right, Linda? So a couple things we did down here that are huge. Just to refresh your memory, we were closed at lunch 4 years ago. We were furloughed. Remember that? That's real stuff. You know, that wasn't good customer service. We did things at the counter over at DPW. We brought the assessing department upstairs out of the basement, right, Julie? Put them right where they deserve to be, which is with the treasurer's office, with finance, with water. So we did some simple things, and then we did this reorganization, or kind of, it's accountability chart. Not an org chart, but when some people hear accountability, they think that's a bad word. I think accountability is a good word, don't you, Mayor?
Yes.
I mean, getting results. So what we put in place was a structure just like a business so that people get the support that they need. And this one's key. Some people never heard of Chief of Staff Integrator. They've heard of Chief of Staff, didn't hear about Integrator. With EOS, the integrator is that person making sure we're getting the traction, getting the results, so that Mayor, as a visionary, my job is to make sure we're going towards that vision, but you need someone behind you to make sure that happens. We're blessed to have an awesome one. Julie Waitoko, where are you? Where is she? Julie, thank you for all you do. Does an awesome job, and that's crucial to this whole structure. So rocks come from the EOS system, and you know, it looks like just a pile of stuff, right? So one of our goals is to get things done, as we talk about, and get traction. So I always like to pick on people in our staff meetings when we go on the road and talk about rocks. So Bob, come on up. Could you explain, what do we mean by rocks? You always got to be ready at Burcroft's. Right? Put him on the spot. He's getting paid good money.
I'll take a shot at it. A rock is really an analogy for our most important tasks or things that we have to get done in that quarter. The team will meet and we'll hash these things out, and we'll isolate a problem, identify, discuss it, and solve it in that issue, or it becomes a rock and it's a larger thing to take care of. Another analogy we use with that is your jar. Your jar is a finite amount of space. That's your day, and you got to put all your things into that day, and you have your phone calls and your emails, and those are your sand and your water. Well, if you put all those into the jar first, you'll never get your rock in there first. So you get in there, you take care of your key initiative, what's been decided to be most important to the team, you put that in the jar first, then all the sand and the water, your phone calls, your emails fill in around it, and that's how you get your rocks taken care of, and that's how we do the 93%. So,
all right. Thank you, Bob. Good job. Be ready. Never know. Someone else could be next back here. So all we're trying to say is that we're making accomplishments. We're getting things done. Isn't that what the residents want us to do? Absolutely. So if we're not doing, my mom's a school teacher, better be getting a B, right? So here we're getting an A. So here's some things that we went through. Key, when I was first elected, we said, well, we got to find out what the residents want. So we went through a visioning process. I'm not going to go through everything we went through here. We had meetings in this room. We had focus groups. We talked to schools, businesses, churches, others, and what we wound up with is saying, what are our marching orders? Why did they hire me and my team to do these things, and what are the major takeaways that they want us to accomplish? So the ones that you see over here were the ones that we came up with. So grow the economy, enhance local brand and image. We'll talk about those more in detail later. Infrastructure, recreation. At the time, we had no recreation or parks, if you recall. And then we sat down and came up with where we're going to go, and those were kind of our marching orders for moving forward. We had no parks, right? So we reopened parks. Renamed, reopened, came up with some dog parks, some creative initiatives. I believe you've got to have parks and recreation. I mean, grew up in a family. We had 7 kids. My mom and dad's strategy was keep us so busy we couldn't get in trouble, right? So we got to have things for our youth to do, our elderly to do. So those those were some examples, and this is huge right here, because no new taxes. So in those sessions, the residents said, and we heard it, didn't we, Bill? They want the things, they didn't want to pay any more money. So we said, okay, this is going to be tough, but we found a way to do it. And so that was pretty cool that now we opened up parks, we have activities, we have safe places for our friends and family to go. New community events that we got into. And what we got into this, there were so many doing our prep. We have these boards out in the outer area after. Please take a look at those. There were way too many. That's the good problem, so I'm going to try to spend more time looking ahead than looking back. But so many cool things that we had done. Look at this. This is our council chambers. We've got some elected officials, right, Mayor Weil? You ever have your council chamber filled? Oh yeah, we've had it. We've had it. David, down in Huron, usually it's not always for a good thing, right? You got all these people in. Well, you know what they were in there for? A good thing. We had a beautification committee that recognized them for doing an outstanding job keeping up their house. So they came in, the committee drove around, they voted on it. It wasn't Burcroft, and a team of people that were volunteers, and we brought them in, we gave them a certificate, gave them some recognition. So yeah, you have to write tickets for ordinance violations, don't you? Yes. But isn't it nice to also offer some incentives and thank people for doing the right thing? And so that was pretty cool. Highlight another one down here. This was Bob McCrate and Kevin Krause. They kind of pioneered this for us. This is our second year. You ever hear of Wreaths Across America? What a nice program. A lot of you in this room helped sponsor some of those wreaths. So our nice cemetery, where's Jan? She's got to be here. I know she always is. We had our historical cemetery, and we had wreaths that were presented with a nice program and laid at the graves of the veterans. So there were, what, close to 300 now? Over 300 now? And then the excess wreaths, we actually took, 100 to Battle Creek. And when you guys went out there, they said, where are you from? Romulus. You guys drove out here 90 minutes or whatever from Romulus to bring wreaths out. So isn't that doing the right thing? That was significant. Give them a round of applause. That was a great event. This is a turkey trot. Mayor ran in that turkey trot, let me tell you. Now, it's not the traditional turkey trot, so we were promoting downtown business. It was pretty healthy, right, Ellen? I mean, we were good, you know. It was a little bit cold around Thanksgiving. We had fun. I think that's the backside of Dennis there. But, we're doing fun things, raising money, bringing people together for a good reason to build community, right? That's what it's all about. We heard earlier talking about the emphasis on infrastructure and roads. So we had a lot going on. We pulled in federal money. Some people don't remember this, the sidewalk on Wayne Road. A little dark, but you could see the lights there. Now people can walk, kids can walk to the high school from the downtown corridor and be safe. Downtown area done. That took 3 different phases to get done. So we did road improvements, sanitary sewer cleaning improvements. Your assets or your infrastructure are a lot of the value in a community. So if you don't take care of them, they'll come back and hit you hard in a financial way. Here were some other fun, I call them, really just new initiatives. We had slides and slides of things we had done on communication. When we did the visioning, people said, we don't know what's going on, Mayor. What are the events? How do we get involved? We want to be part of our community. And so these were some unique things. This was our team going out, working with the schools. There's Margie. There's Jazz and her team. There's Tina. That was Citizens Academy got involved. They took the Romulus story out to parent-teacher conference events, other events. Tanya, you were in on it, others, telling the story on what we need to do. By the way, did you like the video? Was that different coming in, a little bit different? That's Mike. Where's Mike? Give Mike a round of applause. Right back here. We have a good team of people. Jasmine does this PowerPoint. She is our spark plug, man, let me tell you. Where's Jasmine? Jasmine, stand up. She swallowed a watermelon seed, but she's got a family coming. She's awesome. She was part of the program here as well. Chris and Margie. Here is Facebook Live. Boy, social media is a big deal, isn't it? Facebook Live, we use that as a way to promote events. Hey, if they're using social media, why not reach them, right? Let's put it out there. We had an event after Sounds of Downtown. We pulled people in and we were talking about it. Technology, email blast. People want to get little blurbs on what's going on. So yeah, we've got newsletters. Yeah, we've got cable. Yeah, we've got these other things, but just more ways to get the message out. Traveling staff meetings. This was something, when I first started this, they said, man, Mayor, you're nuts. What are you talking about? You're going to take the team out to businesses? I said, absolutely. So we're going to come in here. Oh, my God. They would get... Excuse me, sir. We got a State of the City going on here.
I have a delivery from Romulus Flowers. Leroy Burcroft.
I don't deserve them. Oh, that must be for Geraldine. Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
Would you like me to give it to
Yeah,
her?
would you please? She's right here.
You got a tip before I go?
Well, I'll tell you, I got to tip her. Now, Pastor, he's got to tithe 10% of that. All right, you go ahead. It's okay for the interruption. She thought I was going to forget. Did you? You saw that worried look? So we took our team on the road. Why do we take our team on the road to businesses? Who's our customer? Our customers, the residents, the businesses. They're paying the taxes. Why do we not want to know what's important to them? So we went to Aztec. Aztec here. It's guys from Aztec. Thank you. Took us for a tour. Showed us around. We looked at, here's public service. We went there. We went to Michigan Pneumatic Tool. I know I referenced you, saw you guys. It was great. We went in and basically not just to see the business, but what we do is we invite people in to basically learn how we do business, right? So they would sit in our meeting, they would see us interact, report on rocks and to-dos and what we're doing, and then they could ask questions about our business. So after that was done, then we would then go take a tour and get to learn about them. So that was pretty cool. Special Tree, another one, great, doing great work in the city of Romulus. Here's some innovative things in public safety, and I'm very proud of these. Again, we could have had 10 slides on this, but pretty neat. You recognize those, don't you, Bill Wild? We've got chaplains here. Went to his State of the City, met some real nice people, and guess what they're doing now? They're working. Are they here today? Are the majors here? Where are you? Stand up, guys! Come on, give them a round of applause. They're doing great work. The Romulus residents here helping our fire department that are dealing with things at a tough day-to-day basis. There's our Citizens Academy. We got Citizens Academy people here represented. Great program. Can't believe the side benefits we get with people volunteering. This was something down here I think was significant. We had a group, what's going on today with police and image and public and interacting, and so we had a couple seniors come in, and it started with they wanted to do a protest. We said, well, come on in and talk to us. A protest, nothing really happened. What they really wanted to do was get the awareness out to make sure that police and first responders were interacting and communicating. And so, JD got together, our team got together, we brought them in, put a panel together. That was at the high school, and had a discussion where we're having that conversation. So that kind of just continues to build. If you're talking to your residents, you're not going to have negative things happen. You're less likely to. That was random acts of kindness, just fun stuff to do. This auto aid agreement, that was something Kevin put together and has been, we've got this airport right in the center, and I believe it's a benefit, and I think it's a tremendous value to have the airport there, and so we have to service these 4 quadrants around the airport. So we put together an auto aid agreement so that basically if we get a structure fire, they automatically run. So an airport fire vehicle will be going down one of our neighborhoods to help with that structure fire. That's a partnership. That's cool. We have mutual aid too, right? We have mutual aid partners. Now the thing is with public safety, you can't just rely totally on these mutual aid and auto aid agreements. You still have to be able to serve your community. So that was a good program we put together, and we included the airport as part of our solve. Conference of Western Wayne and networking really with all these groups. When I came in, there really wasn't much representation with Conference of Western Wayne. I think we had a finance person going, but we have some other community leaders. We have from Huron, we have Westland, we have Alhadis here just came in. We've got others that came in that are part of this Conference of Western Wayne. So the way I view it is, okay, Romulus is just less than 25,000 people. Now, and actually tomorrow, it's a privilege for me. I'm getting sworn in as the chairman of the Conference of Western Wayne for 2018. That represents 18 communities and 700,000 residents. So we have 25,000. One thing I have learned, and you other electeds will know, the more voices, the stronger your voice is in Lansing, right, Erica? In Washington, they listen. So why would you not want to be a part of that? So we're part of that. We're part of all these groups. We're working hard, DCC and others. So just another good way to help get the Romulus voice into things that are important to us and all the other communities to get that message through. So financial stability is important. You could do all these things. You've got to have financial stability. And I'll tell you a quick story. We had an opportunity. We're taking on some big projects. You'll hear about more of them later in the presentation. You saw the one on infrastructure. We're building a new court. We're needing to sell bonds, so we didn't want to jeopardize our bond rating. So what we didn't want to do was say we're levying this debt and not know that we had a plan, that we had existing revenue coming in, right, Judge Oakley, already at the court. We had guarantee from Amazon on some road projects. So what we decided to do is take the show on the road and go to Chicago. And what I'd like to do, this quote comes from Mike Gormley. And Mike, you're here. Can you come up and just tell him a little bit? Can I put you on the spot? Come on, welcome Mike up. Come on, Mike. It's like, oh man, I'm not going to that state of the city again.
Good afternoon. Appreciate the opportunity. When I did arrive, Mayor, just so you know, Tim Keyes told me I had up to about 45 minutes to speak,
Oh,
so I
Tim.
appreciate that.
Thanks.
No, but let me just summarize. The mayor, Tim Keyes, Director of Economic Development, and Suzanne Moreno, the Director of Financial Services, went to Chicago to meet with the bond rating agencies prior to the bonds being issued for the Amazon project and the court project, and made a phenomenal presentation. So much that they were upgraded from the A+ to the AA-. That is a huge coup for this city to accomplish. And what does that really mean? Is that the higher that rating goes, the lower your borrowing cost goes. So over the life of those bond issues, there's going to be tens of thousands of dollars saved in interest cost to the city residents, the member communities of the court, etc. So the presentation that they gave couldn't have been better, and I think a lot of it, it was great to have Tim and the mayor there talking, as I say, kind of like 10,000 feet above, looking at the big scope, but when it came down to it, as I told them, it always comes down to the numbers and the conservative budgeting that Suzanne Moreno does, and the answers that she had for their challenging questions were right on. And so I think the collective effort of that and getting that upgraded to a AA- was a huge coup. And one final thing is Standard & Poor's, as you'll see at the end of my quote there, was they have a grading system now on management called the Financial Management Assessment. And it not only looks at management personally, but how are they budgeting, and politically, what are the policies that are in place? And that moved from an adequate to a strong, along with the upgrade. So that, I think you should take a lot of pride in, both politically and administratively, that the city is definitely moving in the right direction.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Thanks for letting me put you on the spot. You know, if I could echo one thing too, with Suzanne was phenomenal. I mean, Tim, you're good, but Suzanne, she's awesome. So here's what we did. She was there early, right, getting ready. We're ready to go to airport, and you know how technology is. Hope it doesn't go out on me today. But we get to Chicago. They go to set up the PowerPoint. Not working. So guess what? Suzanne pulls out her old school folder, has all her charts and graphs and printed copies on paper. So we proceeded to go through that, and whenever they had questions, we had answers. And if they had tough questions, we didn't just gloss over it. We told them the tough results and actions we were putting in place. So good work being done on that, and again, that's a huge success. This is a picture. We get these every once in a while, and to the electeds, I try to forward this on to you. This is the Amazon project, a big snapshot up above, and this was huge. This started construction in 2017, and so what they did was they started construction without a groundbreaking. They don't really do a big groundbreaking. What they do is a big opening. So So you'll all know when that opening is, believe me, because we're going to be out there celebrating it. But what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about it. Anybody college football fans? I know you guys are, right? A little bit. So what do the Miami Hurricanes do when they get an interception or a fumble? What do they have? Yeah, the turnover chain, right? And then Notre Dame picked, I hate Miami, I really don't like them, but they use that. So Notre Dame picked it up, some other teams picked it up. Purdue's good, David. They're Big Ten, they're all right. But they started doing these chains. So what I thought would be cool is we have, Tim, come on up. Where are you, Tim? This is he turned over the dirt. So look at this. He brought in the big one. Put it on, Tim. Put it on. Look at this. Look at this. So that's a turnover chain. Who knows who's going to get it next year, but hey, they turned over a lot of dirt. No kidding. In 6 months or whatever, it went from a field and trees to, oh my goodness. A couple other big things. We had fun doing a groundbreaking at Penske. We hope to have a grand opening. We will have a grand opening this year. And then quite a program at the Mopar facility is they had a big to-do with their grand opening. So good stuff going on, and really appreciate all the effort that went into that. Single out Tim, but a ton of people, building department, others, planning that went into that. So now let's move on. We've talked enough about looking back. This is kind of the visioning. A strong team can take any vision and turn it into reality, and I really believe that. I believe that with the right group of people, you can get a ton of things done. These were the initiatives that came out of the beginning of the first 4 years. So I'm not going to recap a ton of them, but I touched on them earlier. Grow the local economy. Jobs. That was the plan, right, Council? Remember we talked about it? Jobs. If you get jobs, the rest will come. We got young people that are looking for jobs. This guy, you just graduated from Western, didn't you? Went to Romulus. Now we were talking at the Christmas party. My nephew, put your hand up, Andy. Give him a shout. And so Bronco's got to get some love. So what were we talking about? Jobs. That's what's going to bring people back. That's going to bring them out of state here, is we got to have employment. So that was our strategy. Enhance the local brand and image. That's where the logo came from, and all these other things. We've got more to do on that. Improve transportation infrastructure. We took a couple shots at trying to improve local streets. Didn't work. We got some federal money and some others. We're still finding ways to do that. That's still more improvement to be done. Expand recreation. We did a great job there. We went from nothing to having great programs for our youth and opening up parks. So this is looking ahead. So where are we going with this? And what we did is we had our planning session, our annual planning and our 4-year planning. We pulled out all the documents from the visioning process, and we said what's still valid and where do we need to go. And downtown commercial and restaurant, kind of grow the local economy, is still a big piece that we feel there's huge opportunities with. That's a shot at the downtown. We're blessed that we have undeveloped land to grow. It's just we've got to do the right thing with it. With the big jobs, and there's still more jobs to come, that has created a real buzz for housing. Isn't that good? Remember we've talked about not having rooftops, not having enough single-family, multi-family housing. So obviously that's already starting to get attention. That helps the community, that helps the schools and everyone. Enhance the community appearance and code enforcement. This is a couple things. This is the entryways, really, and this is also making sure that your image as you come into different areas, because we've got these 4 quadrants all around the airport, they're pleasing. And also, when you transition from Taylor to Romulus or different communities, you know that you're moving into that community and identify with it. Here's some initiatives that we're working on as far as mobility, which is a couple things. You see sidewalks. We're putting a sidewalk program into play. People want to walk. Mobility. This is also tying into the airport. We have the airport there, and they have what's called an OASIS plan that they're looking at putting walking paths all around the airport. Why would we not want to tie that in? Bring people to the rack. Bring people downtown. Get them to other areas. Team Romulus. We can do all these things and have the plan. You got to have a team. I used to talk about Team Burcroft, no more. It's Team Romulus. That's what it's all about. We're one team. We've got new council people. We want to work together. It's got to all be about community. Right, Reverend Willis? You said that. And so we have an awesome team. So coming into the 4-year mark, what I tried to do is reassess and look at that team. And just like in a business, if it's Aztec or Michigan Pneumatic or whoever it is, Special Tree, you look at aligning the talent with the jobs, don't you? Isn't that what you do? That's what we do. So we did that a little bit. We had a great team. We're making it even better. So we made a couple tweaks. Not that guy. That guy, he's part-time. But you knew you were going to get singled out, didn't you? No, Kevin's done a great job with HR, been a great asset. We did some kind of realigning with things as far as public safety, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, but Dave Allison, Dave's here, great guy. Dave has brought our city and our department up to a level that we're so grateful for all that he's done. He's still with us, Dave Allison, Chief Allison's still here. We're going to utilize his talent, but we had another great resource, which is Kevin Kraus. So Kevin is now our director of all the fire services and emergency management, so that's going to take us to that next level as well, too. So that's great to have awesome people in that area. Give them a round of applause. Come on. You know, you saw one of the initiatives in growing downtown and jobs and so forth. By the way, JD, he can focus on the fire, right? That's your expert, or excuse me, police and ordinance and animals still, and we threw IT at him. He loves that. But so we're really just, it's a realignment. So we take the strengths and the talents of the team, and we did that also in the downtown area. I was very grateful that Mary, she stepped out of the union, and she is now our DDA director, so she can focus on the Downtown Development Authority. And Maria, God bless you, you've been great. She's very talented. She can focus on economic and the community block grant and her creativity, which is awesome. So now we've got more opportunities, more talent to drive us to the next level, which is phenomenal. You know, really the team is everybody. So it's the clerk, it's the treasurer, it's council, it's working with our community partners in Westland and Huron and others. We won't talk about Taylor, he came in, but just pick it on you. We love Taylor too. But it's everybody working together, isn't it? Dave got a smile on that one, didn't you, Dave? We like it. It's everybody working together. You know, it's having people behind the scenes and departments that are willing to step up and do good work. So really all I want to do is give a shout out and thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're Team Romulus, stand up. It doesn't matter what, your board or commission, stand up. Come on. Good trying to get a break. Thank you. Come on. Wasn't that a good stretch, Ellen? Okay, so moving forward, we've got first quarter rocks, which Bob talked about what rocks are. Economic development, some big things yet to come. We've had a lot to come. Vining Road, there's a report coming out that we should have that we'll be able to share with Planning Commission and City Council, which is looking at that, basically that 1,000 acres over there to decide. We had a company, a third party out of Indianapolis, do the work. They're going to present it back, and what we've got to look at is, okay, where do we go with it? Do we keep the same RC zoning that we had the last 30 years? Do we change it up? But we got to take a fresh look. We've got to look at that, and that's what we're going to be doing. So a lot of work's going to go into that. This year we're going to do 2 business to business. Who are some of the businesses that were in our B2B sessions? Eddie, that were already? I see some familiar faces, a couple that were here. We're going to change them up, do them a little bit different, and hopefully not just network, but help with resources that they were looking for. MEDC, or the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, our plan is to complete that redevelopment ready certification program. That can help with downtown, not just downtowns, but that can help in other areas with driving incentives for business. We have a downtown plan that's going to be implemented. Site visits downtown, getting to know those people downtown and beyond so that we know what it is that we can do to help them. Isn't it government's role to find ways to help? Not to hinder them, but to help them. Help them be successful, and then we better support them once they are. Public safety. a safety plan for our employees. Unfortunately today, we got to make sure we're taking care of employees. So if it's active shooter training, if it's making sure that we have things within our building so that we can protect, having a plan to evacuate and whatnot is important. Cameras for CSX and parks, that's something we're working on. We took the lead and are working with Huron on our train issue and other partners. We'll talk more about that, but we've got to get ways to add technology for safety, both at crossings and in some of the parks, especially remote parks where they're tough to see. A strategy for hotel districts, because we have the airport, we need to make sure people are safe there, and keep us up to date all around on emergency management. Operational stability, we can't do any of it without revenue, right? So we got to make sure that we have ways to increase revenue to do these things. We've got to assess our inventory and make sure we're keeping that up to date. Scorecards and metrics are really important. We have a city scorecard. So in our weekly meetings, Suzanne will update that information and bring it in, and at least every month or so we're diving into what are the indicators so we don't have surprises. Just like when you're running a business, you don't want to go, uh-oh, now we're off. Now we have a problem. So we're looking at those numbers. We're going to do a deeper dive, and we're going to actually take and compare it to some of the other business models and what they do so you are managing your business well. Ordinance enforcement and corridors, couple things there. Thank you, Council. We did the rental ordinance. That's also going to include hotels and apartments, so we're fair across the board. Again, keeping all the dwellings safe is all we're trying to do. Entryways and standards, right-of-ways, making sure that the image comes up. So when they drive into Romulus, they go, wow, this is a nice place. This is a place I want to invest in. This is a place I want to live in and stay in. Mobility, connectivity, we're working on that, and basically having a priority list for all of these so we get them done. That's aggressive for just that one area for the first quarter, but a lot of work's going to go into that. One person owns it. We're going to keep moving that forward. Other projects and initiatives, so I wanted you to come into this State of the City and know what's going on in Romulus, but also feel passionate about what we're going to get done. And so you're going to start seeing dirt turning here. Bob kind of took that lead in that from our team, and I mean, spring, we're going to go, right, Bob? I mean, it's been a while, right, Judge? But we have a good plan. I think we have probably a better plan now than we ever have, and moving it forward. And my commitment is to make sure that happens. Amazon, that's going to be a grand open. We talked about that. Penske's going to be a grand opening. CSX Solutions, there's some short-term and long-term solutions we're working on. I talked about cameras. We're hosting a meeting. Actually, David Glabe and I, we're going to be in Romulus. He hosted the one in Huron. We're trying to pull in Conference of Western Wayne, DCC, county, state, federal people. We've got to get a long-term SAW, which is some kind of grade separation. And we can't be neighbors fighting against neighbors. We got to pick our priorities and go get money from Washington and other sources, and we need a grade separation. So we're going to be starting to do that. We're hosting a meeting this month at City Hall. Big things are happening, still happening. Those bonds that Mike talked about, some of that work, you're still going to see dirt turning over in the corridor off of Vining and E-Course. You're going to see new signals coming in at E-Course and Vining, E-Course and Wayne, E-Course and Merriman, E-Course and Middle Belt, some decel lanes going in. Redevelopment ready site selection inventory. What that is, that's a tool that we learned about through Redevelopment Ready, or the MEDC, which is when Tim and I are talking to somebody who wants to develop, and they say, hey, this is the product I'm looking for. This is the size parcel, the size building, the use. And then we look at our inventory list and we say, okay, let's go look at them. Let's go check them out. Right now, we're taking them all around the city. We're showing them all different things. And we want to really zero into what their needs are. And so we're going to use that tool to be able to direct, kind of be a laser-guided point to get them right to where they need to be. Other things that we're doing that are, I think, new and creative are foundations. We're establishing foundations. The bottom one is already for the Senior Center. We already have, and Steve Hitchcock has helped us through that process. We basically have a public safety foundation, which is a separate entity. You know, we can't use tax dollars to go do certain things. We're governed by the law. So we have to follow the law and the guidance to make sure we're doing things right. So we're going to be able to now offer an option option where people can make donations to a 501c3 tax benefit and now utilize that for public safety. Utilize that for tools and resources that we can't right now. Downtown, right? We're doing the same thing. Tim, Mary, we're working on it. We're going to have a foundation there where, again, now if we have a business that wants to come downtown and maybe they don't quite have what it needs for an architectural design or the right sign or maybe the right parking, with this foundation, again, not giving them general fund dollars, I can't do that. But I can say, go talk to the board. Maybe we can help them with some money to do some startups in that area. Grant writer, we brought on Kerry Thompson, right? And now he's looking at his niches is public safety grant writing, making sure that we're exhausting any resource out there for federal dollars or others that will help us provide public safety. You know, you heard me say in my inauguration, I want to enhance public safety. And some people got nervous. Oh, Mayor, what are you saying here? Here's what I'm saying, is that in life there are essential things, right? We need water. We need sanitation. We need basic things. Isn't safety one of them? Yes, I believe it is. So if we're going to enhance public safety, you know, I need your support to do that. You know, we've got to be willing to put our money where our mouth is to provide that service. You know, we've got a bigger challenge because we do have that airport in the center. So we've got these 4 quadrants we've got to work around. So you're going to hear more about us challenging you up to make sure that we're providing those essential services for our community. You know, this is a pretty good, we talked about the value proposition, and when I'm talking to other communities, I think it's pretty neat that we are a full-service community. You know, we have sanitation, we have police, we have fire, we have all these services, and the bargain, what they pay their tax dollars for, and the bang for the buck, you might say, that they get is huge. We're the second lowest operating millage of any city in Wayne County. 43 communities. That's pretty good, isn't it, Dennis? Damn right. Livonia beat us by 1. No one from Livonia here, is there? We'll have them escorted out. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, that we should feel proud with that. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to, don't we owe it to the taxpayers to exhaust all our resources on grants and opportunities and then ask for their help, but also make sure that what they're paying, they're getting the value for. They're getting the service. So I think that's huge. This is my ending scripture, and this is a good one, and it ties into my message. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And so what this means in our community, what I love about Romulus, is that we have hope. Oh my gosh, we have undeveloped land. We're blessed that we have residential, commercial, and industrial land that we can develop. I wouldn't want to be in a community that's totally built out, especially with the municipal finance structure we have in this state. You know, I use the analogy with our team I have before that if you think of a canvas, a blank canvas, now ours isn't totally blank, we've got development, but we have a chance to paint that canvas, don't we? And so it's a pretty cool opportunity to be able to shape this community for the future. Now we better be happy with what it looks like when it's done, right, Patty? Better look good. So we hold ourselves to that standard. But Romulus is a great place. You know, I remember last year, those of you who were here, we heard the little video clip that we did with Jan Lemon. Remember that one? Wasn't that an emotional one, telling about the Romulus story? Romulus isn't just the bricks and the mortar and the streets and the neighborhoods. It's the people. And it's the people that make a difference, and it's the people that I love in this community. That we have a Reese Across America, when we have a family in need, when we have people that need to rally together, if it's a school initiative, a business initiative, a Relay for Life initiative. Wasn't that pretty cool last year? And so I just wanted to wet your whistle with some of those things. I could have spent hours talking about all the great things that have gone on that I didn't talk about that are in this community. You know, we had Flyers, the Little League Flyers football Peanut Bowl champion. Isn't that cool, Jeremy? I didn't even know Peanut Bowl. That's pretty cool. We had, is Sergeant Jackson still here? Did he take off? Middle school Bulldog team. I think it was, what, 4 years undefeated? On a team, unbelievable. I mean, we've got people doing good work. We've got churches doing good work. We've got people that are in the trenches helping people. And this is a great place to live. This is a great opportunity for all of us. And my hope and my prayer is that we'll continue to really be one nation, one state, and one city under God. Thank you very much.
We have with us the Mayor of Westland, William Wild. Bill, welcome to Romulus. Thank you for stopping by and enjoying this moment with us. And I know you have a lot of interactions with Mayor Burcroft. Give us a little idea where we stand along with Westland about what's happening in our various communities.
Well, first of all, I have to say it's a very exciting State of the City address, and Mayor Burcroft, he does a great job. One of the things I was very impressed is that he pulls everybody into it. I liked it when he said there's no Team Burcroft, it's Team Romulus, and that includes everybody. And he's really got everybody rowing in the right direction. I can tell you in Westland, I've been really impressed seeing the new development in Romulus. Obviously some of the projects that the mayor talked about, like Amazon and Penske, it's going to bring in jobs, but you're already starting to see that it's driving residential development, which is going to help you fill some of your commercial buildings. It's also going to bring in new taxable revenue to the city. So it's all really good stuff. I can tell you that, in Westland, the mayor talked about it. We're trying to move the city forward. With the way that the state funds cities, it's becoming more and more difficult. I like seeing a lot of different mayors in the rooms for these because we all learn from each other, and I really like the mayor's the things I saw today about the foundation, using foundations to maybe help do some things that you can't use general dollars for. So all in all, it was very impressive.
Being kind of a border city, is there any type of a ripple effect that you see from both ways, from your city to ours and ours to yours, with this type of development?
I think it is. I think that first of all, with the jobs, they're gonna need homes. Westland's a bedroom community, so there's homes in Westland, and one of the things that I think that we build off each other on a region is that, like when you look at siting something like this in Romulus, when you look at the surrounding cities, in Westland we have a defined shopping and dining district. When you kind of put some of the assets in Westland together with some that are in Wayne and some of the surrounding communities, it makes it a lot easier to attract some of these big projects. So, what happens in Romulus is good for Westland. What happens in Westland is good for Romulus. We're all in Wayne County, and I tell everybody every day there's probably more opportunity in Wayne County than any other county in the state.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. With Jack Record, Special Tree, local business, encouraging speech today?
Absolutely. Special Tree has been in Romulus since 1974, and we have facilities in 30 communities throughout southeast Michigan. And I can tell you that the direction that Romulus is heading in has been evolving since the mayor took over, and the way to do business in the city of Romulus is so much better than it used to be because of his concepts and the way that he's leading this community. And of course that includes all of Team Romulus.
We've always heard about Special Tree, but I don't think a lot of people don't really know what you do there.
Well, we're a leading provider in the Midwest of rehabilitation for people who've experienced life-altering changes. Real significant brain injuries and spinal cord injuries. Folks who in other states wouldn't get the kind of care we get here in the state of Michigan as a result of our wonderful auto laws. We take people directly out of trauma centers and provide real intense rehab and nursing and long-term care if necessary. As I mentioned, we have 30 facilities in 5 counties in southeast Michigan.
What does Romulus mean to you?
Well, for me, I live in Huron Township, but our family business, Romulus, is home and has been for 45 years.
We have with us now Wayne County Commissioner Al Hadas. Al, welcome back to Romulus. You've been a pretty good fixture here. We really enjoy having you around. Tell us what you thought of the mayor today.
I'm honored to be here, and since I've been involved in the county business, I enjoy the state of this city Mayor Burcroft give, because he put certain flavor and simplicity explaining where we've been and where we at and where we going, address the success of the past and the failure, and give a credit to the team concept he built. He built a great team, and he give them the credit for all the effort. So his leadership taken the city in the right direction in such a tough time where many municipalities facing, and you could see the success in Romulus, the difference from year to year in the accomplishment, and as he showed many of the project, and many we're working with him on it as a county commissioner. It's an honor, and I could tell you I'm so proud to be part of this city and leadership as a commissioner, because you want to be part of the success. And this leadership here by this mayor, it's showing that, and he's going to be the chairman of the Conference of Western Wayne County. That show you his ability in the city and outside the city. Congratulations on a successful year, and I'm looking forward to be in the next year state of the city in Romulus. Thank you to the citizen of Romulus and all the staff.
Thank you. With Ken Dobson from the Wayne County Airport Authority, tell us a little bit about your job. What do you do there?
I'm the Vice President of Government and External Affairs, so it's my responsibility to monitor legislation and policy on a federal, state, and local level for the airport. Also am the VP of External Affairs. That involves customer service, community relations, and also dealing with the media.
So you're in Romulus, so it's kind of nice to have a relationship with the Romulus government and especially the mayor. What did you think of today's State of the City?
Yes, sir. I think the mayor's State of the City address was wonderful. I mean, I didn't think he could outdo last year, but but he definitely outdid last year. I thought the video was absolutely fabulous. The city, we have a great working relationship with the mayor and Tim Keys and the city. We're looking forward to continuing to being supportive of the city in any way we can.
Understands that we got some big things going on out there. The mayor referred to walkways and things like that, and you're redoing the entrance, and it's going to be nice out there.
Yes, sir. We're doing the Oasis project, which is basically a beautification project related to the entrance and the exit of the airport. And as the phase 2 or phase 3 of the project will include bike paths and pedestrian trails and that sort of thing.
I'm sure you've addressed this, but just the thing that comes to my mind, talk about trails around the airport, is the security.
Right. Security is very important. Yeah. And, as the mayor touched on, we have a mutual aid partnership with the city and other surrounding communities, and we're happy to provide any type of fire or police support whenever needed.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
We have Gail and Marie, a couple of our senior citizens, with us today. Marie, I call her the hat lady because she always got something new and creative on. And it's always good because we get the seniors out for a lot of our events, and the mayor's State of the City is one of them. Give us your thoughts on this from a citizen's perspective, from a senior's perspective, however you want to do it.
Okay, I'm a senior citizen in Romulus, Michigan that I love. I was originally from Detroit, Michigan. I was there for 70 years. Now I live in Romulus and I love it. I love my mayor, I love my city, and my new friends. And thank you for asking me.
Well, you're welcome. And you've been around a while. You've been to a lot of these events. You're active in the community. What was your impressions today?
Well, I am very impressed with the work of Mayor Leroy Burkhoff. I like the way he took the baton and ran with it. I'm glad he don't look back. I'm glad he's moving forward, and I'm glad that the city got more businesses. We got a new CVS, that's a plus. I'm glad we got the Amazon and the Mopar. I'm glad that we go have new jobs. I'm happy about what he has done, and I just want to see the city keep moving on.
Amen to that. This is a great place to live, enjoy life, and be with friends.
Ms. Gregg, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.